All right. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is the last day of the free VIP contest. And also, it is another day of baseball. Spin Doc here, joined up, joined up with. I found somebody to hang out with us on the show. My guy, just was talking with him, and whenever we're talking baseball early in the morning, I'm just like, hey, why don't you come on? So Sharpie's Bets is in the house today as a surprise guest. Welcome in. How you doing, my guy? What you thinking about?
Man, life's good, baseball's good. We're not going to be perfect, It's okay. Perfect is not okay. Shout out to the chat. One of the guys went on, I think it was a year ago when I was having a bad run, but I saw you post something the other day. Someone told you in your chat, like, bro, forget about it. But even the 73 win Warriors team lost some guys. Nobody's fucking perfect, guys. So as long as we keep hitting the way we're hitting, reading the way we read, we're gonna fucking hit and take money. And that's the fucking goal, is to walk away with money from this thing. So today, very small board. I had plenty of questions for you, and you're talking about the guy I got questions for. So I'm gonna be a guy in the chat, and I'm gonna ask you questions after you break down your guys.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, welcome in. Thanks so much for joining. As I've said, always welcome on here. Always welcome. But we'll get a few business related things out of the way first. This show is being brought to you on behalf of the Daily Bread Network on YouTube. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to that. Gives you access to all the content that we put out. Please follow me at Spin Doc Sports on X. And if you're following me, you damn sure should be following the guy to my right at Sharpie's Bets on X, as well as we both said many times. This is literally the only guy that can give me advice or give me information or give me a take on a K prop that will either get me on it or off of it. It really the only guy I take advice from. So if you're gonna follow me, you should be following him, and also you should also be watching his show, The Walking Dead, on 3 times a week. Sharpie, or is it 2 or 3? Two times a week. I know Friday because I'm on it, and then the other day is Wednesday,
Tuesday.
right?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Tuesdays and Fridays. So just make sure to follow at Sharpie's Bets and get The Walking Dead. But please give the video a like, give it a share. The only thing I really want to talk about from last night, because obviously there's two of us, so we got a lot to get to today. But I did want to talk about from last night. I posted it on X, and it's what this man and I talk about over and over and over and over again. Wait for the damn lineup. It just, if you didn't and you went with projected on Mackenzie Gore, and I literally said this, I said, we're going to need projected because I see 7, I see 8. And Sharpie and I talked about this one all day. And as soon as McNeil got put in there, McNeil, who is a 90% zone contact guy and doesn't chase, instead of Alvarez, who's a 78% zone contact guy and does chase, I said it in my post, and I'll say it again. You have no idea how much that matters. It was literally the difference between 6 and probably 7, 6 and 7 for sure, but probably 6 and 8. Am I wrong, Sharpie?
No, you're not. And the fact is he was pulled at 88, 87 pitches. He didn't let him come back out to start the next inning. And why was that? Because Jeff fucking McNeil was the third batter. And Jeff McNeil is batting 750 off this man in 14 at bats with 1 strikeout. It was lineup construction all the way through, bro. 1 through 5, you could get Soto. And then it opened up until you saw McNeil. And yeah, we talk about lineup construction all the time. That was it to its fucking T. I was on a live stream betting freaking strikeouts. I took Tyrone Taylor to strike out the first at bat, Soto to strike out. I was like, I know the guys are going to strike out. It's just, can he get someone else? And usually when you get someone else, it goes your right way. For me yesterday, Abel got Tucker fucking twice.
I
And
know.
still only have 3, bro. What the fuck, my life?
That was weird. That was weird. The other thing, because we talked about him on this show, and this man to my right had him. I know you didn't post it out or anything. I know you just took him, and you're like, I took him. I didn't tell anybody. But Dylan Cease getting a 10-pack against
11.
the Dodgers. 11. I'm sorry, 11 pack.
Most strikeouts in a season, or most strikeouts versus the Dodgers this year by a right-handed pitcher.
And And I'll freely admit, I passed on Cease in VIP. We went 2-1, so it was a winning night. I'm good with that. But this man to my right, he called it, man. Tell him what you saw.
I don't know, bro. I was 2-1 too. I didn't give it out. I was just sitting there bored, sitting it there. I called you. I'm like, and you were busy, obviously, because you barely picked the phone. Like, I can't. I was like, stop. I got one question and I'm hanging up.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
oh, no.
I called about Las Diaz.
No. I was actually on the tee box at the golf course.
I knew you were doing something, bro, because the way you answered, you were I'm like, hey, hold on. One question, I'm hanging up.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I was like, Las Diaz, bro, is he going to call? Does his slider go side to side or down? And you're like, it goes down, Sharpie. But the ones that did go side to side, he was getting called 6 fucking baseballs off the plate. Strike 3, you're out. They just what the fuck?
I remember on the one, Dalton Rushing of all people, who was a young kid, but I could read his lips, and because Cease just threw him 3 sliders that were 6 inches off the plate, and Laz rung him up on all 3, and he just turned around and he just said, "That's so fucking bad, man," and walked away. And I'm like, but the other piece to that is, as a hitter, you've seen how Laz is calling the game all night. You have to be cognizant of that, and you have to.
And if you open up and chase because the umpire's making you versus Dylan Cease, you're done. That's the kryptonite with him. But straight up, Dylan Cease, though, it said it in the books yesterday. That's why I didn't really want to give it out, because I didn't want to just play what I see in the books. But the books were telling me he was going 6 innings yesterday, and he has a 30% strikeout rate versus the lineup. I talked about it. It's simple fucking math. How does he get this much? And how come he's never had this much versus the Dodgers? Because he never went longer than 5.2 innings and averages 4.1 versus them. Well, it said he was going deep, and that's what happens when you go deep.
I love it. All right. That will be enough for the business of yesterday. I'm going to give a quick run through and quick shout out to all of our folks in the chat. And we got 3 pitchers to talk about today. They are the same 3 that I know. Well, 2 of the 3 for sure are 2 that he and I have already talked about this morning, but want to give a shout out. Eric J, what's up to you as well? Thanks so much for being here. Philip, good morning to you. I know that you were at that Royals game last night, and I believe you were there. But the moment Aaron Judge went yard, I knew the Yankees had our number. Yeah, he feasts on rookie pitching, but Matty Q is becoming suspect to KC fans. Yeah, they are underperforming this year, and I mean, the Twins fan in me obviously isn't like unhappy to see that, but I do like a lot of the Royals guys. So I want to see a competitive division. So I actually hope that they pick it up too. Trying to rob FanDuel. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for reposting. Roger, always with us. Thank you and good morning. Mom who bets. Good morning. Oh, Luke's back in the house. Luke Murphy, man. Always a fan of always reposting our stuff. Appreciate you, my friend. Mario, good morning, and let's have a day indeed. E.S. Gunner saying, talk about Cease with 5 walks. Actually, Sharpie, what did I text you after that inning? What did I?
The Dylan Cease experience.
The Dylan Cease experience, and then you replied, I was thinking the same shit. So for those that weren't watching, Cease had it was like 4 or 5 strikeouts in like 30 pitches and was just on cruise control. Gets 2 outs easily, and then walks the 9, 1, and 2, or not 1, no, walks 9, 2, and 3 to walk the bases full on about 14 pitches with 2 outs, and then got Teoscar. But
on 3.
And actually, just before he got Teoscar, he left a fastball up, and Teoscar swung out of his shoes, and he just missed it. So that inning could have been disaster, but Dylan Cease has a lot of Blake Snell in him. He's got some Robbie Ray in him. He's got He's got some of that in him where he likes to live on the edge. And Andrew, been with us for a while now. Good morning to you as well, my friend. All right, let's get on with the business. We have 3 pitchers to talk about today. As always, if there are not any pitchers that we get to, then please go ahead and put them in the chat. At the very, very end, when we get to other looks, I will give you also some looks and leans on tonight's game 4 of the, or I'm sorry, game 3, not 4, of the NBA Finals. All right. Let's get on with the business. Shout out to Go Get 'em as well. I had Lance McCullers at 6+. Speaking of experiences, good Lord, the Lance McCullers experience was in full effect last night too. But let's go down to business. The first one we have, this is a day game. We have Jesus Luzardo striking guys out at a 26.4% clip, walking guys at 7.6. He gets the Cubs at 12.05. So this is an early one. And we have an interesting line. We were talking about this when we went on the air. We have an evenly juiced 5.5, -112, -112 on FanDuel. It's pretty much the same elsewhere. You can get a little bit of plus money depending on where you look. So here's my thoughts on Luzardo. If you go by, obviously, if you go by his last 2 starts, you're thinking under and he's going to get the shit kicked out of him because this man has allowed 20 earned runs over his last 2 starts. His ERA over his last 2 starts is like in the 30s. So obviously he's getting the absolute dog shit kicked out of him. Only 6 total strikeouts. So why is this line set at a bettable 5.5 on both sides? Well, part of I believe part of what factors into lines is overall average. And so a couple of things. Number one is he is averaging over his last 10, 5.8 strikeouts per game. And he has hit 6+ in 5 or 6 of those. He also has already faced the Cubs once this year at Wrigley and gotten 5 in 6 innings. Now, with Luzardo, it's for me at least, it's always a very, very similar story because he's in the zone 49.4% of the time. However, allows just at or above league average in zone contact. So I'm looking at chase, and I'm also looking at chase contact because his chase contact is absolutely elite. 46.5%, which is almost 11% under league average. Now, the problem that I've personally seen with Luzardo, and I've actually went back and watched parts of his last 2 starts because I'm like, how did this guy go from where he was to allowing 20 fucking earned runs, which is just, it's absurd. So Luzardo is his 4-seam fastball is okay. It's not dominating. Averages 96. It's only got an 18% whiff rate. The sweeper, which was the new pitch that he supplanted his curveball with, or actually he supplanted his curveball and his slider with this year, was the pitch that was getting everybody. So it's still averaging a 47.8% whiff rate. Now, when you go back and you look at some of the previous games where Luzardo has just not done well at all, there's a few things that have been consistent with the sweeper. Number one is the velo is down, but down by a half to almost a full mile an hour. Number two is that the spin on it is down by 38 to 75 RPMs. I've talked about this before, where 50 can start to be significant, 70 can be very significant. And that is the pitch that was fooling people because they'd never seen it thrown to them. Now you start to get into another month, you start to get into a situation here where guys have caught up to it, guys have more film on it, and it can become easier to hit. So with that in mind, and with the Cubs being a team that's now going to see him for the second time around this year, which he has not. This will actually be his first repeat opponent this year. So he does not have any repeat opponents so far, at least not in his last 10, has no repeat opponents. So I go to the Cubs, and with their projected lineup for the day, the one thing that's also working against Luzardo is, since he is a lefty, then I would expect Justin Turner to be in, because they go Turner against lefties, who's a righty, and then they go Bush, who's a lefty, against righties. So the reason why this matters is because Turner's zone contact is 93.4%. He's also got the second best chase contact on the Cubs, and he doesn't chase to begin with. Whereas Bush's numbers are, let's just say, not that. So you have Bush, or so you have Turner in for Bush to begin with. Now, when I look up and down the rest of this lineup, what I see is I see a number of guys who don't chase. So Happ doesn't chase, Carson Kelly doesn't chase, Kyle Tucker doesn't chase, Suzuki doesn't chase. And even though his contact is blah, I see Dansby Swanson doesn't chase. Turner chases a little bit under league average, but makes great contact when he does. The only guys that are really projected to be in this lineup for the Cubs that chase a lot are Nico Horner and Matt Shaw, both of whom make 69% chase contact or better, which is 14 or more percent above league average. And the only one that has a high chase rate and low chase contact is our good buddy Pete Crow Armstrong. So overall, against Luzardo is PCA is 1 for 3. I would for sure expect him to strike out today. I think that there's a chance he can strike out twice. But you look at the rest of the lineup and you see Turner. I talked about Turner, 2 for 13. I talked Dansby Swanson, who can be a K candidate, 3 for 19. Nico Horner, 2 for 12. Happ, 4 for 15. I realize that the juice might be a little bit suspicious because, like, why is this guy, like Sharpie said, why is this guy not minus 140, 150? But I'm just not seeing anything in the numbers that says 6 is even doable. Sharpie, what do you think?
Yeah, that's where I come to this is where I called you. I was like, bro, how come this seems so fucking easy? How come 5.5 right now doesn't have major fucking juice to the under, or it be a 4.5? And it comes down to how I've set lines for years and how it's worked for me. And I like to take the last 10 games, look at, okay, what's your average to this number? 6 is the number we're looking at today. He's 5-5 to that number. 5-5 is minus 110, minus 115. Now you look at the Cubs and how they're playing, guys. They're not hitting lefties for the life of them right now. When you go through it, they're like bottom 10 ISO, but they're not striking out either. Books pay attention to if you're striking out, and they pay attention to past history. The past history in this lineup says, what is it, 20.8%? Says that it's an under. And the fact that we have Mr. Metric alone, you talked about his elite chase contact. So I've only looked at Chase, and I've tracked Chase with every fucking lineup he's faced and put it all on one piece of paper. This man has had 13 games this year. He is 12-1 to the metric alone. I mean, without doing any other fucking work, if you just follow the chase, if there's 5 people in the lineup pointing to the under or the over, you are fucking cashing. Now we've got 6 guys pointing to the under in this Cubs lineup. If we take in the past history, we've got 7 guys that are now. And when we look at him with any lineup this year versus 6 people that don't chase or more, he's, like I said, he's obviously 0-4 to the number, but he's averaging 3.3 strikeouts a game in those spots. This to me seems like an easy fucking under, but yet the juice on it has me scared. And that's why I called you this morning.
We also just got the official Cubs lineup. Mario said I just posted it. So we have Brujan in the 9-hole, and PCA is not in the lineup today.
That's a walking strikeout.
That's gold. Because Brujan, so for those that don't know, Vidal Brujan, so this year, not enough history to really use his metrics. So whenever that happens, I know Sharpie and I know we both use career. And so career 83.3% zone contact. He chases slightly above league average, but makes slightly above league average. I mean, he might get one, but he's not a walking strikeout like Crow Armstrong. I don't think that this can be anything but under. Are you seeing anything different? And right now we have line has not moved yet. So
this is also, I need to see the umpire, which should be out now.
I can tell you. Yeah, I can tell you right now.
Charlie Ramos.
It is. Yeah, it is indeed Charlie Ramos. Charlie Ramos is as average, He's average, neutral, nothing big.
Yeah, just didn't want Bill Miller if I'm taking a fucking
No,
under.
no. An average umpire. And who does Luzardo? Does Luzardo have Real Muto? He has Real Muto. I'm not sure that that's going to matter. So,
No, it doesn't, because I've tracked him with Marshawn as well. He does well with either or.
yeah, this is the only way you can play this is under, in my view.
Yeah, I got cooked on Luzardo last week. You know, I took the earn runs under. I took the chase. I lost both. But that's okay. Like I said, I've been following this guy's metric all fucking year. It's the first time it didn't come to fruition. So,
yeah. So,
do I have the balls to put my money on his under today is the real question, because that's the way I want to bet it.
Yeah. Yep. So I'll go ahead and I'll just say for everybody, I would, if you're playing this one, especially now that we have PCA out and Bruhan in, I would have a look at the under here.
Yeah. That is huge. That's huge to put Bruhan in.
Crow Armstrong being out takes from an easy 1 and maybe even a 1+ because of how much he chases, down to, I put Bruhan at about a 0.75. And I think, if I remembered right, his whiff percentage over the last 2 years against a sweeper is about 20%.
But he does chase. But hey,
chases a little bit.
He's in the 9 hole. Like, okay,
only you see him twice.
You're only going to see him twice.
So how much damage can he do versus PCA, who will probably be batting cleanup? So,
dude, PCA is 1 to 3 because he swings at everything.
Yep.
At everything.
Yep. All right. So this is an underlook for me. All right. Onward with the one that we didn't talk about today yet, but we do have Nick Lodolo. So the lefty, striking guys out at a 20.6% rate and walking guys at a 4.5% rate, gets the Guardians almost immediately after the Phillies and Cubs start. And this line is exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's a heavily juiced over 4.5 with some juicy plus money on the under. And this is pretty much the same across everywhere. I don't see yet. I see that the Reds lineup is confirmed. Not the Guardians quite yet, but if we get this projected lineup, which is going to be 2 lefties and 7 righties, it's going to be a very, very similar lineup to what you saw against Andrew Abbott last night. And oh God, thank you, Lord God, for any involvement you may have had in Mr. Abbott getting 5 last night, because he started off with 3 hot and then just, oh my God, did he fall off the table. Now, when you look at Lodolo and you look at the Guardians, you have the exact same thing that you always have with the Guardians, is that you're probably going to have Kwan leading off. You're probably going to have Ramirez in the 3 hole, and you're probably going to have in the top 5 somewhere, you're going to have Santana. Now, those 3 are the 3-headed monster that just don't strike out ever to anything. They also don't strike out against Lodolo, because Ramirez and Kwan are a combined 2 for 13, and Santana is 0 for 3, which I don't factor a ton into. So those 3 guys have to be considered pretty dead spots. The other reason why is that this year so far, Lodolo in the zone 50.9% of the time. Now, the problem is that he's allowing almost 86% zone contact, but when he does get guys to chase with, especially with his curve, he does generate a decent amount of whiff. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for guys who are going to take in the zone and guys who are going to potentially not make contact, because when Lodolo does get strike 1 or does get ahead, his strikeout percentage, I talked about it, I said it's 20% for the year. It goes up to near 40% when he gets into those pitchers counts. Now, when I look at this lineup up and down, you obviously, we do have a couple guys who do chase like crazy. Arias would be one of them. He's a walking strikeout. And if this is the lineup that they run, there's not a ton more that actually do chase. Ramirez chases, but he makes great chase contact. But even still, you also still have after the quote big 3, you still have about half of the remaining guys in this lineup who make zone contact under league average, and who also put themselves in potential pitchers counts almost immediately. So the umpire for this one, that was the one thing that I didn't get a chance to check before we went on. The umpire for this one is Nestor Ceja. Nestor Ceja is pretty neutral, so there's not a whole lot of advantage to have there. He's maybe slightly pitcher slanted, but to me, this line is pretty well correct. 5 definitely is the right number. So I'm not really but I'm not convinced though until I see a lineup if I want to invest minus 160 juice in this one. Maybe you can pull it down to 4 and pair it with something if you got to play it now. But the guys that you're going to want in this lineup, if you're thinking about an over for Lodolo, is you're going to want Arias, you're going to want Rodriguez, you're going to want Martinez, and you're probably going to want Naylor as well, because even though Naylor does make zone contact above league average, he chases about average, and his chase contact isn't the greatest. So Arias you want for sure, though. So if you get that kind of lineup, yeah, you can go with this one. But the more that I dug into Lodolo, just the more that I said maybe the best option would be to just kind of toss it for the day. I don't know. Any thoughts on Lodolo, Sharpie?
I got a parlay piece for you if y'all looking for something. Take Lodolo's earn runs under 2.5. It's just hella fucking juice to the point to where you can't bet it. One lefty has given up 3 runs versus the Cleveland Guardians over the last month. His name was fucking Wade Miley. All right. All right. Enough fucking said.
Yeah.
I talked about it on my show yesterday. I wanted the earn runs under 2.5 for Lodolo for Abbott at minus 130. By the time I went to go bet it, it was minus 150. I pied out. He went 9 fucking innings versus these bitches and didn't allow a run. These guys can't hit lefties for the life of them. Now, Lodolo, like you said, zone contact has been the key for me. And when I have all his lineups, I've bet him 4 times this year. Cashed every fucking time to the over. I don't like betting unders. But if you were to look at every lineup that's had 6 people with zone contact, good or bad, in the lineup, he's 7-0 to the number, guys. 3-0 to the under when it says so, 4-0 to the over. Right now, we have 4 guys that are good at zone contact. Can we get one of them out? Can we get Martinez out? Can we get Quan out? Can we get Ramirez out or Santana out? It's a middle of the day game. There is a chance that somebody has a rest day today. Give them a rest day, and I will be back in Lodolo. But right now, I would probably take his earn runs at 2.5 and pull his strikeouts down to like 3 or 4 just to get the juice down. But I'm going to leave his strikeouts be at the moment unless they make one move to this lineup, and then I'm getting in.
Yep. I like it. Drama reposting our stuff, and thank you for joining. Thank you for the love. Cover King's in the house. Thank you for joining. He's on. We talked about it on Luzardo as well. I totally get it. I think if you're playing Luzardo, the under is the place to be. All right.
The juice is coming on the under. It's now like minus 125 to the under.
Yeah. Roger asks, Lodolo pitching outs. Any thoughts on that one, Sharpie?
Personally, I'm not looking at his outs. It's not a guy I've always looked to back his outs at. So it's just when I look at people's and take these earn runs under, I only track like 60 people in my book. You've got to be considered a dog in my book. And when you face dogs walk them. So I'm looking at the team total under 3.5 at plus money. I just don't know if I trust Cincinnati's bullpen. The juice on the under first 5 is way too fucking much. So they're pricing me out of this game at the moment. They know Lodolo's going to shove. Just are the strikeouts going to be there?
Right. All right, let's go on with the final pitcher of the day. And again, if there's a pitcher you want to hear about, want some quick analysis of that we don't talk about here, then please feel free to put it in the chat. I mean, who else were we going to close with? Robbie Ray. The Robbie Ray experience. A couple guys are keeping the seat warm for Blake Snell while he's on the shelf. Robbie Ray, 28.4% strikeout rate, 10.1% walk rate at Colorado tonight. And he has a line which was, that's actually, I got to put that 7.5. That's not right. So we have a line that's 7.5, which is about what I expected. I told VIP last night, I expected an over 6.5 at like minus 160 or something stupid like that. And Sharpie, you're shaking your head. Is that not exactly what you thought?
I mean, he was a 7.5 versus them in San Francisco.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be the 6.5 with the heavy juice, but they bump them up to 7.5. So first things first, if you're betting this one, you're betting the over, end of story. Under is not an option for a pitcher like Robbie Ray against the Rockies. You're either going to pull it down, put it with something else. You're going to play it straight up or above, or you're going to toss it out. So there will be no under on Robbie Ray from me. I cannot do it for a pitcher like that against a team like Colorado. Now, when you look at this lineup right now for the Rockies, which is projected to be 1 lefty and 8 righties, and the lefty that we have is a lefty that I would want if I'm taking an over with Ryan McMahon. The Rockies have been putting some interesting lineups out there because they've been calling guys up because obviously their season's over. So I totally get that piece. But with Robbie Ray, to me, all about chase, because this man can be wild. We've talked about this a whole bunch of times. I mean, that's why he's called the Robbie Ray experience, which is interesting because he does spend 51.2% of his time in the zone, but he generates about a league average chase rate. But when you do chase, 44.7% chase contact allowed. That's 13% under pitcher average. I believe it's the first or second best mark of any pitcher going today. So we look at this Rockies team right now, and I'm never fully convinced that this is going to be their final lineup. And this is another reason why I always wait for lineups, because you have teams like the Rockies, like the White Sox. There's a few more that just like to just fuck with their lineups and have like guys where you're like, wait, who is this guy? So when I look at the Rockies lineup I'm just going to go in order here and just go 1 through 3, 4 through 6, and so forth. So Beck, Doyle, Goodman. Beck chases. Doyle is about league average. Goodman chases a ton. You have Estrada, McMahon, Arcia chases, and McMahon doesn't chase, but his chase contact when he does is absolutely horrendous. Estrada does chase a lot, and actually for all his good zone contact, his chase contact is under average. Then you got Ritter, Hira, see, they got so many guys coming, I don't know how to say it, and Freeman. So Ritter, limited plate appearances, but does chase. You got Hira at a large chase rate in limited at bats, and you got Freeman, who doesn't chase and is a high contact guy. So Arcia has good zone contact but chases a lot, and every single other one of them chases. So if this is the lineup that we're going to get, and they're going to have this much chase, and I know my guy has got a few thoughts and some questions about it, and he's looked back at Robbie Ray at Coors Field before because of his slider, which we'll explain in a minute. But this is a place where you really can't go anything but over. So unfortunately I don't have a like super in-depth detailed breakdown, because we've broken down the Rockies on this show. I've broken that down on Sharpie's show. We've broken down the Rockies 400 fucking times. You know how bad they are at striking out. You know how much their lineup can chase. The guys that I would not want to see in from a chase perspective is I would not want to see Farmer wouldn't even be the worst guy in the world to see. There's actually not a whole lot of guys in here that I wouldn't want to see. Actually, one of the only guys that I wouldn't want to see, just because he doesn't chase and he makes contact when he does, would be Sam Hilliard. And he's done that throughout his career. I don't think he'll be in. So with this lineup, I'm coming up with 8 that chase. I'm coming up with 1 that doesn't, and only 2 of these guys are above league average when they do. Sharpie, thoughts on Robbie Ray?
Yeah, you brought it up. His chase contact is some of the best in fucking baseball. And when I track him, I track chase. And when I look at every freaking lineup he's faced this year, he's 9-0 to the metric when he gets a lineup with 6 people that chase or 6 people who don't chase. It's been that fucking simple. Even when you don't want to bet it, Royals, Padres, teams that you just like, oh, I can't put my money on them. Guess what? If they fucking chase, he cashes, bro. Like at the end of the day, you cannot chase versus this man. And he just brought up the chase in this Rockies lineup. Now, me personally, I wasn't even going to look at fucking Robbie Ray today. And this is why I talked to him, because sometimes he'll get me to be able to be like, okay, bro, I can go look at him today. And right now, my problem with Robbie Ray is how he's pitched in the Rockies. Granted, he hasn't pitched in Colorado in 2020. He was a Diamondback for a very long time. All of his games versus the Rockies actually happened to be him as a Diamondback from 2012 or 14 or something like that to 2020. So can you put a lot of stock in that? I would say, yeah, there's a lot of fucking history. Now, you can get your strikeouts while getting the shit kicked out of you. That's one thing I've talked about. And that may be the type of spot that this is today, guys, as he does have a 5.14 ERA in Colorado, but he has 53 strikeouts and 42 innings of work. All right, that's what we're betting right now is strikeouts. And my problem is this, is I looked at his spin on a clock where his observed movement goes with his slider. And it's showing me that it breaks at the 6 o'clock, like 12-6 on a thing. And we've talked about when you want to pitch in Colorado, you want a pitch that's breaking side to side. And that's why I jumped on Harrison's last night, because his slurve matched the same path as Lodolo and Luzardo's breaking pitch, and they shoved in Colorado. Robbie Ray does not match that angle for me. And that right there was enough to make me just be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't bet Robbie Ray today. And then this man goes, what? What are you fucking talking about, bro? Like, this is Robbie fucking Ray of the Rockies. So, do I have to be worried about where his slider breaks?
Well, oh, I'm sorry. That was your question.
That was my question for you.
I'm sorry. I thought it was a rhetorical one.
No. That was legitimately what I called you about this.
Yeah. So Ray's slider on our clock does typically break up and slightly this way. So on our clock, we're looking at about a 1 to 11 or 11 to 1 type of movement. And when you're looking at it on a spray chart, what you have is you have it where if it can, so it comes in this way, it comes in high, and then it bites sharply over.
All right. If that pitch is going to play in Colorado, he's getting 8 in his sleep. But if they run the same lineup like I expect they did yesterday, I mean, fuck, bro. You got Freeman, Estrada, and Farmer as potential dead spots. And when you're betting an 8, it's hard to go out there with dead spots, multiple dead spots.
Yep.
So, I mean, the plus money's right. I think the line's fucking right.
It's just
when he hits his prop, it's usually by the hook. It's not like fucking this dude just goes ape shit. And if he did, we wouldn't have this number. The fact that he only got 8 versus the Rockies last time, the fact that he ends on these numbers by the hook is keeping us from getting freaking that 8.5 or super juiced. It's all about how do you play. So I like to say when a guy cashes my K prop to please stop striking them out, because you're going to fuck with my next strikeout or the next one after by jumping your average up, bro. Like, nah.
All right. So we're going to get into other looks in a second. We got a whole bunch of questions. I love it. I love the interaction. I'll try to get everybody from the last time we did it. So I see Cover King saying he took Lodolo's under 5.5, but it's in a parlay.
Oh, yes. I'm going over right now. No fucking Quan, suck my dick.
I just saw that somebody else mentioned that Mario, I think, saying Guardians lineup is out. I think
I told you, bro, we needed one of these guys out, bro, and they gave us one. They gave me Nunez. I got to go track Nunez. See what he does.
All right, yeah.
They put Jones in?
This is like the poverty lineup they ran against Skubal when he murked him for 13.
No Naylor, though. Naylor's a bitch.
Arias is in. So we got Ramirez and Santana, but we got no Quan.
Ramirez, Santana, Martinez right now are the only contact guys I have. I got to check Nunez. I don't know who the fuck he is. Guardian catcher.
He is. So
Bro, he has a career 77.2 zone contact.
And a career chase contact of 46.2.
All right, I'm betting Lodolo.
Yeah, I think you got okay.
I have to. This is what I fucking wait for.
Everybody, this is why we wait for lineups. And
hey, bro, and it's 6+ minus 130 now. They ain't fucking playing.
Nope,
they just went 50 cents.
Nope, they see it. They see it. All right, so I gotta add Lodolo. I gotta add Lodolo too. I gotta add Lodolo on the over for a half unit on the 6+.
I'm not even going half, bro.
All right,
I have to.
I have to. Yeah,
I have to
with this lineup.
This is what I waited for. I was like, this is moving day. We can get one of these guys out on moving day. And
I love daytime baseball because lineups come out and see, for those that are just watching for the first time, this is what this man and I do daily. And all of a sudden the lineup comes out and like one of us will text the other one and be like, you see the shit that they're throwing out there? And like, oh my God. And it's like race to the, and like my fingers are at the computer, like on fire, trying to run it through my model and hurry up. So I put this one in pretty quick. This is a pretty easy over on Lodolo.
I'm literally trying to sign into my account. I fucking hate DraftKings.
This is a pretty easy over on Lodolo.
I have to. It's just what I've waited for this whole year. Every year, I just wait for 6 people. And like I said, the guy's cashed every fucking time for me. I'm not going to stop betting him in these spots. If he doesn't hit this time, I'm going back to the well again because it's been really good for me.
This is another key that they know something too. Luke saying Bet365 doesn't even have the Lodolo posted. Some books just take him down and let
they'll put them back up, but they're going to let the line settle. Yeah, they're going to let the line settle.
Yeah.
Luke, he went down to I got a minus 110 on this, bro. So DraftKings has 6+ at minus 125, or over 5.5 at minus 110. Okay. And then do that.
Yep.
4+ pitcher earned runs.
While we're talking about this, if anybody wants to go take Lodolo real quick, we'll before we get to everybody else, we'll let y'all sign into your books and have at it. I'm going half. I think that my guy here is going all the way.
Yeah, I just put 100 on the 5.5, and then I put 65 on the 4+ and under 2.5 earned runs.
Yeah, everybody's got it at 5.5 now. I think DK, if you want it, is the best price.
Hey, y'all just got these bets before the guys that pay me for them. See, that's why y'all got to tune in the shows. Sometimes lineups come out right. Like, you think I'm gonna text y'all before I put my bet in? No.
So, all right. So we got that. All right, we'll get on with the other questions that we have. Cover Kings actually asked Sharpie. You said this. Anyone else think Ray gets destroyed? We're shaking our heads. Yes, it's possible. It's possible he gets torched and still gets strikeouts.
Yeah, there it is in the cards that he gets lit up tonight. But once again, you can get lit up and hit your strikeouts.
Yep. Roger asking thoughts on Clark Schmidt K's. If you're gonna look at that one, I had an initial lean on the under. They are keeping it. They upped his hits and they upped the juice a little bit on his earned runs because he was going between 1.5 and 2.5. So I might be more interested in taking the first 5 over for that one because there were a few signs that nothing to do with strikeouts because I know there's a question about Bubic as well. There were a few signs to me that said that there would be some runs scored in that game. So that's where I would look. JM with an interesting take. New hitting coach in Colorado. Pacheco is getting them dialed in. It's actually a really good point. I saw this one when you posted it, JM, which thank you very much. I'm actually going to look at what some of their chase metrics are from the time that he was named the hitting coach and kind of see if we have any discernible difference, because that is something to pay attention to as coaches get fired. That's actually a really great point. So good call out there. Kid Keon saying thoughts on Zach Littell. The opponent is obviously what you want, but the pitcher is not. So Littell has faced some some pretty bleh contact teams when it comes to like with the stuff that he throws. And I mean, the Marlins, he only got 4 against. I mean, some of the rest of them have been pretty decent contact. I mean, he did get 5 against Milwaukee. He got 5 against Boston. I don't hate it. It's just not something that I'm like running to the window to bet. I also his hits allowed, which have been at a 5.5, are now at a 6.5, and his earned runs, which had been at a 2.5 pretty religiously, is now at a 3.5. Now, doesn't mean he's not going to strike guys out, but I actually might be looking at a Boston first 5 team total over here because there are a few guys that have crunched him before. Speaking of Chris Bubik, Luke asking about Bubik K's. Sharpie, what say you?
We got to, when we say Luke's name, you got to say, and New York Times best-selling author Luke.
I'm sorry, you're right. You're right.
He's got a handle that you know. If I ever wrote a book and it made it, and I'd want it said so. Yeah, bro. Crazy as it sounds, is Ramon brought up Bubik to me a few weeks ago, bro. Like, just talked about how this dude's just shoving, and I'm like, oh fuck, titty boy, I don't want to bet Bubik. And the more and more I just kept watching game scores, I'm just like, this dude's fucking shoving, guys. And we got a guy who's pounding the zone 5% better than league average right now. And I was like, well, I just ran Garrett Crochet versus these Yankees in this zone contact of the team. And then I go throw out the projected lineup, and 5 of the 9 guys are actually better than league average at zone contact, with 2 guys wash each other out, where Judge sucks, but he's only struck out 1 of 9 at bats, and Wells is good, but has struck out 3 of 6. At the end of the day, I need 2/3 of the lineup for anywhere for me to bet. Like, I just told you I was waiting for 2/3 with Lodolo. I'm not going to break my rules and stuff for a guy named Bubik. Now, I'll do that for Crochet, for Skeens, for when they want to put the 4 guys at the bottom of the lineup. Okay, then I got to, bro. Y'all want to hold my hand? You're going to force me? Fine. But right now with this projected lineup, they're not forcing me to bet Bubik, so I'm just going to let him go. But he does have the highest strikeout percentage versus past history today at 25.
Yep. All right. Andrew's asking thoughts on Eduardo Rodriguez against Seattle. And I know you don't look at him.
No. But I am going to take a little small shot on the 7 as well with Lodolo. Okay. 4 times this year, he's seen a lineup 6.3. He's averaging 7.3 in those games. I like to take a shot on their average.
So Eduardo Rodriguez, for me, the thing that I always look for is zone contact, and he has done a really nice job of that. What he's actually getting hammered with is chase contact. So because of that, the only thing that's a little concerning is Rodriguez can be a little wild. So he only spends 46% of his time in the zone, and the Mariners do take their pitches. So when I looked at Rodriguez, he's not a guy that I totally haven't he's not a guy I totally haven't written off yet, but I do see that his walks are a little bit up there. It's the over 1.5, have very, very heavily juiced, and he is averaging 1.8 walks per game. So when he walks 2 guys or more this year, he is, if I remember right, it wasn't very good from a strikeout perspective, to the 5.5, which is what he's going to need. I think he's hitting at about like a 33% rate. Now, if it's the 4.5, which right now I know some books have as, or I think, nope, everybody's got 5.5 now. To the 5.5, it's not great. It's like 33 to 35% when he walks 2 or more. So what I want to see on that one is I want to see how many people are going to take pitches in the Seattle lineup. And if I get 5-4 or even 4-4-1, meaning like 1 or 2 of them are league average, if I get an average lineup, then it can definitely be a look on the over. Let's see. Andrew also saying Casey Mize isn't a bad look either. Interesting. Casey Mize against the Orioles. Yeah, the Orioles are never a bad bet to get for strikeouts, especially if I think this is a moving day for them, if I'm not mistaken. So if they've been known to put some poverty lineups out on moving days. Mize's outs are down, which it's not like horribly concerning, but his earned runs are up. So I would need to see a lineup for that one. But even if you get one of their high contact guys out, like O'Hearn or Adley, guys like that, the bottom of their lineup can be an absolute walking strikeout. And Philip, last but not least, saying he got plus 307 on a parlay with Ray and Lodolo both over on FanDuel. Attaboy. I like it. I like it. All right. Let's see. Anything can happen, but hey, we're on the opposite side, but I think he gets slammed. Well, but I don't know if we are on the opposite side though, because a pitcher can get slammed and still get strikeouts. Yeah. Kid Keon saying Lodolo move fast. Would you take his outs at 16.5? I don't know if I'm looking to do anything with outs with this lineup. Are you, Sharpie?
Me personally, no. Who are we talking about again, Ray?
No. This is Lodolo now. Sorry.
No. I'm not looking at the outs personally. I just got a message back from my guys in the chat that pay for my bets. They're like, fuck, Lodolo's earned runs are at 1.5 now. Like, I can't tell you to bet a 1.5, but I got a 2.5 with a 4. I told y'all on this show what we were doing, and I'll post my bets win or lose, you know?
Yep.
It is what it is.
All right. Let's go on to, I got 2 more things to cover today. We got other looks, leans, sides, totals, NBA Finals, Game 3 stuff for you. All right. For me, a couple money lines. As you know, the only money lines that I give out that I have leans on are plus money ones. So for me, the 1 plus money, well, it's almost plus money, but it matches with the Luzardo thing we just talked about, is the Cubs are at even money or minus 102. That's fine. So that would be one that I would be looking at. And then that might be the only one.
Speaking of the Cubs game, I got in live last night on a show I was doing, but on the -1. Cubs have a top 3 bullpen. The Phillies can't find a fucking closer for the life of them. If the game's close in the 6th inning, just take the fucking Cubs.
Straight up money line or -1 or whatever.
Whatever. I took -1 last night when Taijuan Walker was in there. Like, this is their bullpen?
Yep.
You're going to guys like this?
Yep. All right. That's the only money line that I have. And actually, to your point, Sharpie, the Phillies bullpen right now for the season is 7th worst in baseball.
I believe it. I've lost some team totals on their fucking ass.
7th worst in baseball, and I believe they're 9th worst in allowing home runs, and so on and so forth. It's bad. All right. One question from Andrew. David Peterson. Do we trust him today, Sharpie?
He's got a 21.3 strikeout percentage versus this lineup. We've got 7 of the 9 guys that are better than league average at zone contact, but yet 5 people chase. I wanted to slam this under today, but there's 4 lefties in this lineup, and he dominates lefties at a 31% K rate compared to 19 versus the right-handed side. So it's a complete stay off when I wanted the under, but unless they load up some righties, then I'll go look towards the under.
Yep. All right. For MLB totals for the day, Pirates Marlins under 8.5, I thought had a little bit of value. Braves Brewers under 8 had a little bit of value. That was kind of the only places that I was looking at. So to close out, where are we looking in the NBA Finals? All right. So talked about how I think that the series after the kind of smacking in the face that they took with the Halliburton shot at the end of game 1, that Oklahoma City came back and said, no, fuck you, we're the best team. That's exactly what they did. They now moved to Indiana, where interestingly enough, there's been a lot of metrics where Indiana's been better on the road than they are at home. They've still been decent at home. So it's lined open at a 4.5. It's now getting a 5 right now. I think I would have a lean on the Pacers at +5. I still have this just feeling, hunch, if you will, that Oklahoma City does win the game. So, but I think that the 5 is maybe just a few too many. I I'm not seeing Indiana getting blown out on their home floor for game 3. And then from a points perspective, this line opened at a 226.5. It's now gone up to 228.5. I personally have a lean on the under for this one. I saw signs that OKC's defense was really, really locking in, and I think that I don't see OKC shooting as well as they did away from home as they do at home. If you're looking for any props for this game, I haven't actually finalized my card yet, but the ones that I'm really looking at for this one is from the Thunder have a whole lot of defensive options right now for Tyrese Halliburton, and they've been really I think, with the exception of the big shot, I think that they have the tools to really frustrate him. So I do have a look on Tyrese Halliburton under 30.5 PRA. That's points, rebounds, and assists. I'm not convinced that Shea goes off as much as he has been. To me, this seems like it could be a Jalen Williams game. So I'm looking at his points. This is actually what happened in a few of their games, their first games on the road, when teams get that home crowd energy and they're really, really just focusing and locking down on Shea. The fact that his points are only at 33.5, given what he's been doing, a little suspicious to me. And the fact that Williams is at 20.5 at a medium level of juice. So I do like Jalen Williams over 20.5. I think if you have where you can take like over 21.5 to get 22 points, I don't mind that one. And then for threes, I do think that Indiana's role players shoot considerably better or get a lot of shots from the corners, which is where Oklahoma City allows the most corner threes in the league. 2+ threes, one that I think actually has a good amount of value is Andrew Nembhard, 2+ threes at +140. So those would be the ones that I would give out. Sharpie, any other bets or looks that you got going on today?
Nah, man, it was going to be a super light day. They were going to have to force my hand to bet, and they've already forced my hand once. So I'll keep waiting. It's moving day.
It is moving day. And so with that, we will close with, it is the last day of the contest. And we do have this right here. Oops. Sorry about that, Sharpie. We do have this right here. It is the last day of the free VIP contest. And this is a way for anybody. All you have to do is there are 2 show posts each day, one from my account and one from Sosa Picks account. And all you have to do, one like, one repost gets you 1 drawing entry. It's we have tons of them so far, and it's for a maximum of 4 per day per person. So 16 per person is your max. And what's going to happen is I'm going to start loading them up later today into a random name generator. And tomorrow, live on the air, we'll draw 10 names, 10. And the winners receive a free 2-week VIP subscription with everything that it entails, all the stuff that I'm looking at, all the charts that I've posted, all the analysis, live bets, NBA plays, everything that comes with it. You get it for free for 2 weeks, and all you have to do is like and share the posts. That's it. So last day today, you have up until about 8 a.m. Central Time tomorrow to like and share the post. That's when I'm going to put the final names in and cut off the entries. All right. With that in mind, we will close out the show. Roger has won. Miles Turner over 1.5 3-pointers made. All right. That's got plus money, I'm sure. So, all right. With that in mind, last thing, please, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the Daily Bread Network on YouTube, where all of our content is. Follow me at SpinDoc Sports. If you're following me, you damn well better be following the guy to my right, at Sharpie's Bets. And also, Sharpie, tell them what else you got going on, man.
I don't know what I got going on, bro. I wake up and fucking do what I want.
I love it. I love it.
Appreciate you all, though. Smash the like button if you guys already haven't. Appreciate those who already do. Hit the retweets, guys. Without you guys, there is no us. So let's keep it rolling.
Let's have a day. Best of luck in all your best of luck in what you're tailing. See ya.